Hi folks, you'll see in this here particular tutorial that we are going to take one image, in this case a multiple exposure, and place it into another image and blend them together to make a double exposure. Now this is the Photoshop method. However, you can get multiple exposures even digitally, as per this photograph here. This was done in a studio. We won't go into how to do this, but you can marry them up as well digitally using Photoshop. So to bring this image across into the house image, we first of all have to make sure that this image is currently active. Then what we need to do is select the whole of this image by going to the select menu and all. You will see a set of marching ants around the edge. We're going to copy that by edit and copy. And I'm going to just minimize this one. And then we're going to edit and paste into the house copy. And you'll see there that the image completely overlays the house. And if we look here in the layer palette, you'll see we have a layer 1, which is the multiple exposure, and then we have a background, which is the house. I can switch off the multiple exposure, the layer 1, and you can see the house underneath. And if I switch it on again, you'll see that you can only see the multiple exposure. Now, typically, if you're trying to blend two images together, you will do this through blending modes. A lot of it depends on the color of your background and other colors within the image. And the image that we're going to try to blend into the house is the multiple exposure, which is quite dark. If the background had been white and if it had been a very light and bright image, we would have used the blend mode lighten. But in this particular instance, you'll see that it doesn't work terribly well. We lose a lot of detail from the middle person. If we use darken, you'll see that the house comes through to the light areas of the multiple exposure. If we use overlay, you'll see that that's not too bad, except the background copy is incredibly dark. So what I'm going to do here is use screen, and you'll see that that's not a bad fit, although you can still make out the jeans at the bottom of the image, but the rest of it doesn't look bad. Now, I think that the color can be a little bit distracting. So on that top copy, I am going to desaturate the color by going into Image, Adjustments and Desaturate. I'm then going to go into Image, Adjustments and Levels. And what I want to do is darken down the area of the jeans in the multiple exposure by taking the shadow slider down to the right slightly, and you'll see that they darken out of there quite nicely. Now, I don't want to lose too much detail, and if I also take down the midtone slightly, you'll see that it darkens down a little bit. I don't want it so dark that you don't see the people. And I think somewhere around there can be pretty good. So I'm going to click OK on that. If you still think that you see some of the jeans at the bottom, you can simply grab a paintbrush. You can go for dark paint. Make sure it's a nice soft edge brush, which it is, and a manageable brush as well. And then you can just darken those down completely. And you'll see that comes out of the foreground there quite nicely. Okay, now whenever we go to save this, whenever we go to File and Save, because of the layers in the layer palette, it will automatically give us a PSD copy. So I'm just going to put in today's date there and click Save and agree on the compatibility notice. I'm then going to go back in and do File and Save As, and again this time it's for a JPEG copy. So you'll see there's the copy I've just saved, which is a PSD, and I just need to change the PSD format to a JPEG and click Save. And as ever, if this is for photographic quality, make sure that your quality is actually a 12, and I'm just going to click OK there. Thanks for listening, guys.